Hi everyone, I'm Sofia and I was part of the Zines module this term, in which our driving question was how can I use creative art practices to engage in discourse and dialogue on counterculture, social justice, or everyday life through zines. I think the module overall was a nice way to learn about zines. I had never really heard about the term before. And I think something that really stood out was their accessibility. It's a very accessible art form, not only for those buying it, but also for those making it, which, it was just interesting to learn about that. And then the sessions and the conversations we had about counterculture, social justice, and everyday life were also a nice opportunity to educate myself more on those terms. And I just think it was very powerful to see how those different terms just manifest in each of our countries. Okay, so then we had to choose a topic that fit into one of these three terms. And I decided to focus on mental well-being and on just giving tips to promote our mental well-being. And then it fit into social justice because there's still a stigma around mental health overall. And I guess by talking about it, you're contributing to breaking that stigma. Okay, so at first, to promote and spread positivity as well about mental well-being, I wanted to have quotes in my zine, just have a zine of quotes, basically. And so my first page kind of starts with a question, but then it was going to go with quotes. And then after talking to several people, I realized that, quotes are great and they're inspirational, but you don't really know what to do after you read the quote. And so I decided to do kind of double pages. Okay, so my first page is how are you really? It kind of relates to how we live in a society when we ask how are you, and our kind of immediate response is I'm good, how are you? But then sometimes we're not really good. So that's why that's the first question. And so again, I had the double page where I have the quote on one side and then the reasons or the actions to do in order to achieve that quote on the other. So here it's about perseverance and why we should continue to persevere, and just how sometimes I want to quit right now, why you should keep going. Then this one is about stress and how we can de-stress, especially this year. I think many people have experienced stress because we're at home and we're just not really seeing as many people as we usually do, and everything's so uncertain. And so again, I have the quote on one side and the tips to kind of try dealing with stress on the other. This one is about self-care, and those self-care tips will also be the tips that promote ultimately your mental well-being. And then this one is about overthinking. Just I think as a society we find ourselves overthinking a lot, and I thought it would be nice to add it. And the last one is more about how we all experience different things every day, and that we might not need the same things. So just giving options about, what do you really need? And then I close it down with a quote that says, some things fall apart so better things can fall together. I think it's a nice reminder at the end, so it's just, everything might be super uncertain right now, but eventually it'll be okay, and eventually we'll go back to normal. throughout the zine I also used this technique with like painting that I had never tried, which was it was really fun. And I think that's also something that was nice with this module, that even though we're online right now, we just really got to create something hands-on. So yeah.